The MSR Hubba Hubba is something of an industry benchmark, and it's the one which every other tent in the category is compared to. Over the years, it's developed a reputation as being the consumer all-rounder, balancing lightweight with extensive living space, and also a set of features that makes it extremely comfortable and practical to sleep in. It's not the most lightweight or the most minimalist, and is very far from a tarp. And on the flip side, it's not as bomb-proof as MSR's own remote range. It sits somewhere in the middle. It's capable of adapting to a wide variety of different conditions and is suitable for the vast majority of people looking to go out into the British mountains. For 2026, MSR has updated the Hubba Hubba collection, and within this video, we'll be running through what the key differences are. First up, there are now two differing models. Whilst the original Hubba Hubba was great, a single tent can only be so versatile, and by splitting it into two, namely a lighter weight model and a heavy duty model, it's made two very distinct options but sharing a lot of the same DNA. There are a lot of similarities. They both feature the exact same pole setup, they're pitched in exactly the same way and have pretty much the same number of storage options. The difference comes within the materials used and the weight and when you might want to use them. So to focus on the LT first, this features a micro mesh inner. So in warmer climates, it's absolutely what you want because it will help with that condensation buildup that can be a problem with nylon tents. Of course, on the flip side, in colder and windier conditions, they can become a little bit chilly. So it's maybe more a slightly spring-summer tent than it is an autumn-winter tent. So to mitigate this effect, MSR have brought the nylon up a bit higher. Now in doing so, it provides a little bit more protection from the wind and from the elements that will be blowing underneath the outer of the tent. The LT features a 20 denier fly and floor with a hydrostatic head of 1200mm and 1800mm. Now this is fine for inclement conditions, but if you are going out when it's going to be really wet, this is where the HD comes in. Now the HD features a full nylon inner with some mesh to help combat condensation. Now this is going to feel much warmer than the LT, especially in those cool and breezy conditions where that mesh would let everything through. This provides a greater degree of protection. As always, it's a bit of a balance. The full nylon will feel a lot warmer, and in hot conditions, that's not necessarily what you want, especially due to the addition of condensation buildup. But when it comes to cooler conditions, the full nylon is undoubtedly superior. The HD features a 20 denier fly and a 30 denier floor, with a 3000mm and 6000mm hydrostatic head respectively, which is a significant step up from the LT. And if you are going out when it is looking wet, this is undoubtedly the model that you would want. Now, which one is going to be most suitable for you depends on what your priorities are. Is it weight, or is it weatherproofing, or is it a blend of both? The other major update to the Hubba Hubba for 2026 is the change in shape, which results in more livable space. And there's been a shift from a taper in the old models to a rectangular within the new models. And this has several benefits, and the first and most noticeable arguably is when you're putting the tent up, because you can put the poles in either way round. You don't have to look for any sort of colour coding or figure out which end is narrower and which end is wider. You can just get the poles out and place them either way around. The other benefit is they'll accommodate rectangular sleeping mats much better. Within the previous version, you had to use a mummy-shaped sleeping mat, simply because that was the only thing that fit. Whereas in these, you have the option of using either. It's also worth mentioning that the Hubba Hubba, both within the LT and the HD, come in a 1, 2 and 3 person model. That 3 person model also, due to the shift to the rectangular shape, can accommodate a 4th person, albeit quite snugly. Now, as if making them bigger wasn't a benefit enough, they've also managed to make them lighter as well. Now the LT comes in 1.54 kilos, and that's with everything, and the HD comes in at 1.8. So they're both pretty light. I mean, even the HD, the heavy duty, is a lightweight tent. It's just that you've got the option of this lighter weight alternative if that's what would best suit your needs. The final thing to comment on about the Hubba Hubba tents is just how livable the space is within them. There's a lot of differing pockets and storage options, both around the sides and within the sort of attic of the tent. They also feature a door on either side, which is nice when you're sharing a tent with someone and you don't have to crawl over them in the night if you do need to get out. Having that additional headroom courtesy of the crossbar also makes a massive difference, especially if you are stuck in it on a rainy day. It just gives you that bit more space inside the tent to sit up. At UKC, we've been really impressed by the updates to the Hubba Hubba collection. Considering this is such a long-standing range, it felt hard to find ways to improve upon its predecessor, and yet they've managed to do that by making them both lighter and also more spacious. And who doesn't like that? The fact that they've split them into two differing models, the lightweight and the heavy duty, also makes a lot of sense. And it means you can just choose whichever one is most appropriate for what you need to use it for.